Give me a letter of recommendation. Give me a letter of recommendation. What's up, it's a culture detective here investigating your favorite movies, and today I'm going to do the second last list in my List Week 2022, and that, of course, is top 10 worst movies of 2022. Let's go. Let's talk about the worst movies of the year. Now, before that, of course, I have to talk about the dishonorable mentions. And again, I don't watch that many bad movies, so the dishonorable mentions, the movies in the dishonorable mentions are not even that bad, but I feel like it's still important for me to mention them a little bit at least. First of all, it is a Hong Kong movie that disappointed me a lot and has become one of the lesser enjoyable Hong Kong films I've ever seen in my life, and that is Septet, the story of Hong Kong, which is a short film anthology film that left me underwhelmed or confused most of the time. And then another movie I have to mention is Watergate Bridge, which is a sequel to the notorious Chinese propaganda war movie that is Changjin Lake Changjin, the Battle of the Lake Changjin. Yeah, it's over the top, it's hideous, the whole movie is propaganda, and it's not even like exciting, explosive propaganda. It's just dumb, poorly made propaganda. Like, come on, Cui Hark, Chen Kaige, you're better than this, okay? You're definitely better than this. But yeah, anyways, top 10 worst movies, let's go. At number 10, I'm giving it to The Secrets of Dumbledore. Yes, Fantastic Beasts and the Secrets of Dumbledore is the third movie in the Fantastic Beasts series, which I thought is a trilogy. I thought this would be the end, but no, of course they have to make more. So yeah, Fantastic Beasts and the Secrets of Dumbledore is easily the worst movie in the entire Harry Potter cinematic universe. It is so bloated and so messy and so boring. It has so many characters, and yet nothing frickin' happens. The main character, Newt Scamander, played by Eddie Redmayne. He's not likable. I don't root for him at all. And it's just sad that I used to love Harry Potter. Harry Potter used to be such a captivating and interesting series, but unfortunately, Fantastic Beasts doesn't have any of the charm that Harry Potter has completely. It doesn't have a sense of location, the magic is just not as interesting, and the setting is so trite and cliche. And again, Grindelwald is such a boring villain, unfortunately. So cliche, it's so boring, and it has nothing to do with Mads Mikkelsen. I think he's great, and I don't really care if it's Johnny Depp playing or if it's Mads Mikkelsen playing. They're both good actors, but either way, this movie sucked ass. Yeah, number 9, I am giving it to Senior Year, which is a new Netflix Rebel Wilson teen comedy where Rebel Wilson plays a 30-something-year-old woman who goes back to high school because she had a coma in the last year of high school, senior year of high school. That's the title, haha. And she woke up from the coma and she's like, man, I gotta finish high school, so she goes back. And yeah, this is one of the most unfunny and pointless comedies I've seen all year, and there have been other pointless comedies on the list, trust me. But yeah, this is one of the most pointless comedies I've seen all year. There are not any funny moments. There are many cringy moments. There are many moments where Rebel Wilson tries to relate to the Gen Zs, the generation of today with the TikTok stuff, with the modern day stuff, and it just comes off so dumb. It's so on the nose. It's just very annoying, and just another dumb Netflix high school teen drama with a lot of haha, the jocks, the nerds, the whatever. Another really painfully unfunny comedy movie at number 8 is the new Judd Apatow movie, The Bubble. Yeah, this movie is a total hot mess. It is about making movies in the pandemic, and I swear to fricking God, if someone makes another pandemic movie about a pandemic. A movie that takes place in the pandemic where people wear masks and they talk about COVID, it's fine. But when you base the entire freaking premise around the concept of the pandemic, quarantine and wearing masks and vaccines and whatnot, it's just so fucking annoying. And I feel like 3-4 years from now, filmmakers will still do this stupid pandemic stuff. Like, ooh, I'm gonna do an artsy short film about isolation in the pandemic. It's crazy. I bet no one has thought of this before. But yeah, not only is this a dumb pandemic movie, but also a very pointless comedy. It's so unfunny. The TikTok dances are annoying. There have been 3 instances of TikTok dancing in this movie, and they're all extremely unfunny. And it's sad because it has such a stacked cast, but yet it all went to annoying, frustrating jokes and just this very lowbrow comedy. This movie just feels like a cheap vanity project, if anything. So yeah. All right, number 7, I'm giving it to the most movie of all times. Definitely one of the movies of all times. And that is, of course, Morbius. It's Morbin time. Yeah, Morbius is definitely one of the movies of all times. It has lines, it has scenes, and it's a movie. Yeah, I just... the meme, it's Morbin time itself, is better than the movie itself. And I'm afraid this, it's one of the movies of all times meme isn't just a meme. It really describes this movie really well because everything about this movie is extremely forgettable. They basically take the very basic Marvel formula and just copy and paste everything and make it 10 times more uninteresting. The main character is uninteresting. The villain's very, very, very freaking boring. In fact, right now I'm trying to recall the villain. I forgot. I think the villain is like, oh yeah, it's Matt Smith. I just remembered that. And of course, the villain is also like Morbius, like the same thing, the whole vampire thing. There's like the final battle, and it's like, yeah, I just don't remember much from the movie. It's just so forgettable and boring, and every single thing about this movie is so tasteless. It's so bland, and the promotion is also really weird. There's this one promotional material where Jared Leto goes on to an interview with Fubuki from Hololive. If you're not caught up with VTubers, just, a VTuber, a Japanese VTuber, and it's so damn awkward. And it's not Fubuki's fault. She's very talented. But it just turned out so damn awkward. Number 6, another franchise film, and that is Jurassic World Dominion. This is the 3rd film in the Jurassic World trilogy, and they really decided to go out with a bang with a 2.5-hour long epic movie where literally nothing happens. So the dinosaurs are living with the people now, and they don't do anything with that. And then in the second half, for some reason, instead of being about dinosaurs, it's about wasps. Like there's a plague or something. It's called Jurassic World, and you're dealing with freaking wasps? Are you kidding me? Or locusts. And yeah, there are just too many characters. They're bringing back the old Jurassic Park characters, Sam Neill and Laura Dern and Jeff Goldblum and everyone. And there's just too many freaking characters. Too many things are going on. And yet the movie doesn't do anything with all these characters, particularly significantly or anything. So the whole movie, 2.5 hours long, it's literally nothing. Nothing happens. It's so boring. It's very annoying, overly serious, and it's just the dinosaurs aren't interesting at all. Apparently, the director said one of the most important antagonist dinosaurs is like the Joker. What? Why? In what way? I don't know. Okay, number 5 movie worst of the year. And that would be the latest Roland Emmerich disaster sci-fi movie, Moonfall, where the moon is gonna fall. Yeah, so Moonfall is a movie about how the moon is gonna fall onto the earth. And yeah, it made for some insane epic destruction that's so ridiculous and so full of CGI, it's borderline guilty pleasure, which is nice. But this is also simultaneously one of the goofiest movies of the year. Truly a goofy movie. Characters making really dumb decisions, cringy dialogues, and the plot literally progresses in insane ways. The twists and the turns are so freaking ridiculous. Definitely one of the goofiest, silliest movies of the year. And then at number 4, we have something completely different. Number 5, Moonfall, is very, it's entertaining at the end of the day, but really number 4 is a dread to get through. And it is also a wild card in our list here because I don't think a lot of people have seen this movie, and I also don't think a lot of people would put this movie on their worst movies list. And it's quite interesting too because I only knew about this movie by working for a film festival. So I volunteered for the Asian World Film Festival a couple of months ago, and I got to watch a bunch of movies. And I've never watched a film from Central Asia. So I'm like, man, I got to do it. So on the first day of me volunteering, I watched Life from Kazakhstan, and god damn, it sucks. Now, I'm not saying that Central Asian films suck. There are probably a lot of good stuff from Central Asia and a lot of talent and potential brewing right now, but this movie is hilariously bad because instead of being entertaining, this is everything but entertaining. And I'm not saying it's boring. I mean, yeah, it's boring, but it's not one of those artsy slow movies. It is an artsy slow movie, but you know what I'm saying. This is just one of those overly artistic movies that takes itself so seriously, that thinks it is itself too cleverly. It thinks it's so deep and so full of power that it completely oversells itself. I mean, this movie is called Life, and it's 3 hours long. And from what I've seen, it has all these extremely unnecessary long sequences, like dance sequences with really annoying music that literally means nothing. And it's just such a slog to go through. And it's really hilarious because when I went into the cinema to watch this movie, there literally is no one in the movie but another guy in the very back of the cinema. And I can't even tell if the guy's asleep or not. But he probably is because this is just such a sludge to go through. And Life, there we go. All right, top 3 worst movies of the year. Let's go. Number 3, Tall Girl 2. So of course, given how great and amazing and fantastic and critically acclaimed Tall Girl is, of course they have to make a goddamn sequel to it. Yeah, it sucks. It sucks. This is everything I hate about rom-coms. This is exactly the reason why rom-coms are my least favorite genre of movies. This cheapens romance. Not only is this a dumb Netflix teen drama with shitty pop music, dumb dialogue, overly colorful colors, and very dumb, paper-thin, one-dimensional characters, and also, social media, blah, blah, blah. But I think the biggest sin this movie committed, and the reason why I despise movies like this, I don't just hate them, I despise them, is because it cheapens romance. Especially in 2022, when I'm really taking romantic storytelling seriously, movies like this are really a nail in the coffin, or in the eye, or something. I don't know what's the saying, but it really cheapens romance. The way romance works in Tall Girl 2 is essentially, a guy meets a girl, and they talk and they chat, they have some fun, they laugh, and then boom, suddenly they're in love with each other, and then boom, they just confess to each other, and then that's it. They're in love. Yay! And it's so cheap. It makes romance a poppy, mainstream, commercial thing. It makes romance a consumerist product, when in fact it's a very deep and and strange and surreal thing. And I know I'm like, okay, maybe it's different for everyone. Different people perceive love and romance differently. But then I watch movies like In the Mood for Love. I watch freaking movies like, I don't even know, but I just watch movies like this, and then I watch Tall Girl too, and I'm like, oh my god, I've lost so many brain cells watching this movie. Oh, and again, it's unfunny. The characters are annoying as fuck, and I just, at least it's not as bad as She's All That, but it's somewhere around that. Number two, worst movie of the year, another pointless comedy, and that is Machine Gun Kelly's Good Morning. But instead of Morning, it's Mourning, Mourning, like mourning for the dead. Oh my god, get it? Get it? It's crazy, right? Crazy. So yeah, this is a stoner comedy by Machine Gun Kelly because of course not only does he have to score on the worst albums list and the worst songs list, of course he also has to score an entry on the worst movies list. He made a movie and it's a stoner comedy. And it's so painfully unfunny and drab. And watching this movie, and I get it, this movie's supposed to be, high. This movie's supposed to have this weird high quality to it. But there is like nothing in this movie. So much happens, it's like nothing is happening. It's so disjointed. It's so all over the place. 10 things are happening at the same time, and none of them make sense. None of them have any rhyme or reason with each other, and none of them are funny either. So it's just Machine Gun Kelly and 4 or 5 other idiots just going around LA, fucking shit up, getting high, and that's the whole movie. And it's just like, I just don't know what to say after watching it. It's just one of those movies that just leave you, I wouldn't say stoned, but just emotionless, like a stone. Yeah. The only salvageable thing is Pete Davidson. And he's not even that great in the movie, but he does have one moment where it's kind of funny, but the rest of the movie is just zero. Wasteland. Literally a barren wasteland. Alright, number one worst movie of the year is actually 2 movies, but I refuse to watch the other one because the first one is already so bad. It's actually the second one because it's a trilogy, and of course you know what I'm talking about. 365 Days. So yeah, talking about making, my worst movies list more international, where the number one spot is given to somewhere between Poland and Italy, with the second installment to 365 Days, a Netflix softcore porn movie, romantic drama thriller movie. Also one of the most misogynistic movies I've ever seen in my life. Like the way the main character, the guy treats the girl in the movie, I forgot their names, but the way the guy treats her is so freaking awful. He treats her like an object. He treats her like a possession. And yet she's totally fine by it. She actually enjoys it. And yeah, maybe it's sort of a kink, and I don't want to kink shame anyone, but this has gone to levels where like literally violence is committed. Like the guy is actually hitting the girl. Not only hitting on the girl, but hitting the girl, slapping her, and controlling, manipulating her, abusing. And yet she just doesn't want to leave. And the movie romanticizes it to a point where it's ridiculous. It's hilarious, actually, because even though it's softcore porn, none of the sex scenes are even that sexy or pornographic. There is nudity, but it's not much, and it's so poorly edited, and all the shitty pop music. This movie plays a pop song every 2 seconds. There is barely any moments of silence in this movie. It's just completely laced with one shit ass song after another. One shit ass party song after another. And they're also bland. They're also formulaic. They're also, ooh, good time, I'm having a good time type of song. It's so annoying. And it's so many sex scenes. And they're also boring. The sex scenes are easily the most boring parts in the movie. And then the dialogues. It's ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous. I get it. The actress is Polish, the guy is Italian. They're not English speakers, and the writer's probably not a native English speaker. But some of the dialogues are so ridiculous. They're so uh, they're so unusual, and with that accent, it's hilarious. It's laughable. It's laughably bad, and it's also so damn long. And then nothing happens in the movie. It's all sex and more abusive relationships and more sex. And then in the last 10 minutes, this movie, 365 Days This Day, this movie pulls this weird Godfather gangster shit. It literally came out of nowhere. It's so stupid, and it makes no sense. And apparently there's a third movie, and I just cannot watch it. At least for movies like Moonfall, there's a certain so bad it's good quality to it. But 365 Days is misogynist. It's insufferable as hell, and I don't want to watch the third movie or rewatch it or anything like that. I just don't want to think about it. I wish this movie doesn't exist, and it's crap. It's poop. It's doo-doo. It's shit. So yeah, what are your least favorite movies of the year? Comments below, let me know, subscribe if you want more, and thanks for watching. And tomorrow I will be doing the best movies list, and it's going to be awesome.